So what did you say to them, James? Are we still meeting or? Okay. You ready?
Good evening. Welcome to the July 27th meeting of the CAPC. Madison, will you call the roll, please?
Autumn. Nick. Mark.
Here.
James.
Here.
Carol. Patrick. Jeff. You do not have a quorum.
Since we don't have a quorum tonight, we will go through the financials and the reports, and that is all we'll do. We won't be able to vote on anything tonight.
You won't be able to approve the financials either, is that right?
That's correct, but at least the public will know what the financials are. So, lacking a motion that can be voted on, if you'll be so kind as to come up and do the financials for us. Oh, wait, public comments. Any public comments? Okay, so we're on to financials.
I believe it's raining outside. I had to look twice to see what it was, but thank the Lord we have some rain finally to cool us off. I'm going to try and coordinate my skills with a iPad with paper, so we'll move through this together. On the slide A1, small a, is a bar graph showing the CAPC tax collections for the year 2022, 2021, and 2019, and that would be for the first 6 months of each of those years. If you'll notice on 2022, for the 6-month period, we had collected $837,852 when compared to the year 2021 of $701,396. Then we go to 2019, which is $575,677. Thought that would be an interesting figure to show the Commission the differences between the 3 years for the first 6 months of each of those. That actually represents a 31% increase from year 2019 to 2022. Moving on to slide A1, which is the CAPC financial summary as of June 30th, 2022. Under the bank balance for June 30, 2022, I found I made a transposition error. It should have read $1,389,234.09. I transposed the 89 and the 98 right there. But the figures at the bottom are correct. We have an unrestricted cash balance of $1,289,461.21. Now, all of the other figures are correct. Looking under Section A for the actual versus budget for June of 2022, our food and beverage was actually collections of $89,108. We had budgeted $90,000, so we had a decrease of about $892, so that's very insignificant. So we're at budget on that. Under lodging, we had a collection of $92,910 on a budget of $90,000, so we had a $2,910 increase in that line item. Overall, for the month of June, we collected $182,018 of a budget of $180,000, which is a net increase of $2,018. Right under that column, it says year-to-date collections. That would be January through June of 2022. We have a collections of $837,582, and we had budgeted $684,000, and that's an increase of $153,582. Under Section B, a historical comparison where we compare June 2022 to June 2021, actual collections under food and beverage for 2022, $89,108. Comparing to June of 2021, there was a collection of $92,865. That is a small decrease of $3,757. And under lodging, for June of 2022, we collected $92,910. June 2021, there was a collection of $89,875, and that's an increase of $3,035. The total collections for June of 2022, $182,018 compared to the June 2021 collections of $182,740, which is a decrease of $722. But the year-to-date comparisons, June of 2022, $837,582 compared to June of 2021 of $701,396. So that's an increase between the two Junes of $136,186. Does anyone have any questions?
No.
Okay.
Just a comment that when you're comparing June 21, which was pretty good, for us to be keeping up with that, that's pretty substantial right now, because the weather, and my perception is there's been a slight slowdown, but evidently not near as much. We maybe find out next month if that's the case.
Interestingly enough, I was thinking exactly what you're thinking, and I started looking at the collections for July so far, and we're not through the end of the month, and we're already 13% above what our collection should have been to budget. So we're definitely going to make budget, for sure.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear.
That was good. I was curious about that myself. Under slide A3, I thought this was interesting. It's the total collections for June of 2022 broken down by category as listed in the ordinance. The restaurants' tax remittance was 85% of the total tax collections for the food side of the ordinance. I thought that was interesting. That stuck out as a pretty substantial figure. The rest of those categories were like below 10%. Let's see. If we're comparing overall income, that would be for odd concessions, for ticket sales to the odd, all of the taxation we collect, all income. Comparing June 22 to June 21, we are up a little over $3,000 or 2%. So we're strong in comparison to the Junes, but in looking at July figures at this moment, we're starting to see an acceleration of collections. So I'm anticipating a good next three months. For example, under A6, under the category profit and loss for the previous year, comparing January through June of 2022 to January through June of 2021, we're up in collections 20% comparing those time periods, or $136,185 ahead of that time period, comparing 2021 to today, June. Just a little bit more here. Under A6, that is the profit and loss budget versus actual for April through June. This is what will be sent to the City Council as required by the ordinance. And this is for the April, May, and June of 2022, which is our ending of our second quarter. So we're up overall in revenue about 9% for that 3-month period. We've had under Schedule M1, which is construction allocation, we've not had change from the prior month, but in July there will be some changes because there has been some money spent on the downstairs for audiovisual that you'll see a change in that schedule for next month. But this June and May of Schedule M1, which is construction allocation, have remained unchanged. The last two supplements are Schedule S1 and S2, which kind of gives a breakdown of the sales tax collections over the past 4 years by category and by month. That'll give you interesting something to do when you're sitting at home watching TV and just comparing numbers. Those are the numbers we use and report to the commission. Anyway, that's what I do, and that's the end of my report unless someone has a question.
No. I have a question, but it's just about this. So everything that is here is what you sent me today. So do I need to get me an iPad? This is
No.
the first meeting.
No, we just send them to you in advance, so
Okay.
you can see them beforehand if
But
you
this is a lot
want.
easier like this.
Yes.
I can
So
read.
before we used to print all of these out.
Okay.
And we decided to save trees.
Right.
And so we just put all of the reports on here, so if Scott needs to go over them or reference different reports while he's giving his report, that way you can see them and it'll pull up right there for you. But all of this you got in your email today.
Got it.
And then you can reference it later if you want to keep it, however you want to do that.
Okay, so everybody gets an iPad.
These are owned by the CAPC.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I would like to close in saying that for the year 2022, all invoices, documentation, contracts, W-9s, there seemed like something else I'm looking at, is all digitally scanned and stored digitally, and we keep a paper copy also. So, and for example, today, the auditors were asking me for copies of some information. I was able to send it to them in a couple of minutes without having to go dig through files.
Hey,
So we've automated the
Yeah.
department.
thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for a comprehensive financial report. So moving right along, Molly, do you have a report for us?
Yes, I just have a real quick report. If you'll look at number 16 on your iPad, that's going to be the Three Dog Night Auditorium profit margins. So you can see that we made $2,644 in concessions, and with the added rental fee, that was $5,644 in total revenue. We only had the expense of labor, so we came back on top with a total profit of $3,297.
Molly, can I pause you for a second? You guys are on number 16, if you need to reference that. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, that was just the rundown of Three Dog Night. Just wanted to make a note of that profit that we have in odd operations now. Moving on to number 17 on your iPad. It's just a rundown of all the shows coming up, and I made note of Amy Grant coming on October 21st. That's a new addition. A little update on Folk Festival. We are still planning to do Barefoot Ball, of course, so this is some awesome artwork done by Robert Norman. The lineup is not complete yet. We're still working, daily with a couple of promoters, but we'll have that for sure by the end of the month, and we're looking forward to releasing that. But we're looking forward to having all of Folk Fest in the auditorium, using the basement, using up here, and then using the park as well. So, yeah, that's all I got for you guys.
Thank you.
Well, I just want to comment that that's great that the commission over the course of the past year has moved offices into the auditorium, and that we've got a lot of things coming out of the auditorium, and now that we have the basement, that we don't have to rent out space in other facilities around the city
Exactly.
to put on the one festival that we've got going for us. So that should make it more profitable for the CAPC, which translates to more advertising power for the CAPC and improved overall revenues for the city. So that's a win-win for everybody in Eureka.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, guys.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Madison?
Okay. If you will go to number 20. Mine's taking a bit to open up. There it goes. Okay, let's talk about some marketing recap highlights for June 2022. Moving into our visitor insights, visitor volume was trending up year over year. Visitor spend was trending up, or trending on par year over year. Little Rock was our number one in our top 10 DMAs in terms of overall spend. That means that our consumers from Little Rock and Market spent the most money while they were here. 82% of our visitors stayed overnight, and 78% came from out of state. Some public relations metrics. June estimated impressions were over 220 million. Our year-to-date estimated impressions are just under 800 million. Our paid media summary. So our spring and summer campaign finished on June 26th. Our LGBTQ plus paid media, we did a sponsored content package on gaycities.com with branded image, video, and written content. Our display click-through rate was 41%. That is significantly higher than the industry benchmark, which is 8%. Our video click-through rate was 75%. The industry benchmark is 70%. Our Expedia paid media, June was our second month of our Expedia reporting for the spring-summer campaign. We had a 13% click-through rate. Our booking revenues was just over $94,000, and that equates to about 188 room nights. So moving into paid social, Facebook and Instagram, we had an always-on campaign was running with the objective of driving awareness and engagement. We did see a decrease in volume due to the regional spring flight campaign ending in May, so our campaign ended the month before, so our reporting in June was a little bit decreased. Website highlights. The home, attractions, things to do, and events calendar pages continue to be our most visited pages. This is because our paid media drives consumers to those pages within our website. Top states of origin for website visitors. Our top state for June was Illinois, which is really cool. And then the same that we have almost every month, Texas, Missouri, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. We had over 75,000 sessions for the month of June, and that was over 57,000 users for the month of June. Those are some quick recaps. I'm going to talk a little bit about a convention that I just went to last week. So I went to the Destinations International Convention in Toronto. This is an international tourism convention, so you go there and you learn about things that are happening in the industry. There's a lot of talking and roundtable discussions and conferences where they educate you and lots of networking events. But right before the convention started, the Monday before, I actually went to a networking event that was put on by the U.S.-Canadian Consul General Susan Crystal in Toronto. It was a networking event with Arkansas tourism that included us, Little Rock, Bentonville, Fort Smith, and Fayetteville, and Canadian influencers, travel writers, media partners, et cetera. So I met with maybe a media company in Canada. I think it's Baxter Media, I have it down here. A bunch of travel writers that are based in Canada, and so we're promoting awareness for Arkansas tourism and then more significantly for our destination as a whole. So that was really great. It was quite fun. We went to the U.S. Consul General's house, and actually Bentonville flew in a local chef, and we had a local Arkansas musician there. It was really great. It was a really awesome event. And then just touching on some key takeaways from this convention, we went over tourism sustainability. The current trend right now that everyone was talking about while I was there is outdoor adventure tourism. They think this is a really sustainable market for Arkansas tourism and the tourism industry as a whole. We went over the COVID-19 impact, and then power and data intelligence, which is really great because we just signed on with Zartico, which is a data intelligence company, and this is really going to put us on the map in the DMO world. We're really excited for that because we get to learn more about our consumer and even about how they flow in the market. So we get to see where people are going while they're here, who that consumer is, even in more detail than we already know, which is super exciting, because that's something that I took away from the convention, is that data intelligence is a crucial part of the DMO world. So that's great that we're already headed in that direction. And I just wanted to list some individual meetings that I had with some potential partners that I met while I was there. So Adara, TripAdvisor, Baxter Media, Sunshine Getaways, Dine and Destinations, ProWay Tours, Grown Up Travels, Dreamskates, and Carvertise. These are influencers or travel writers or advertising agencies or whatever it may be. I sat down with them for over the course of the week that I was in Toronto for individual one-on-one meetings, which was great. It's really nice to kind of put Eureka Springs on the map even more so than we already have. These people are international advertisers or international influencers. So it was a really, really great week, in my opinion. And then I'm going to just give a quick little update. A couple of weeks ago, we sent out a partner program survey. So this was meant to gain, to create an open dialogue with our stakeholders. So the goal is to identify how we can provide more value to our partners, stakeholders, and communities. So we'll take these results and take a look at them and see what we can do more, what people are looking for from us, and things like that. And so we will take this into our partner program and shift how we need to be more available, or what do our partners need from us. So I just wanted to announce that that partner survey ends on August 2nd. So if you haven't gotten it, feel free to email me and I'll send it over to you. And we're excited to look at those results. And that's what I have.
All right.
Oh,
No? Go ahead.
I have one more thing. It doesn't really, it doesn't change anything for today, but you'll see on your iPads, you have a marketing funding support worksheet there. This goes over all of the funding support that has been approved for 2022, what's left in that budget line, and what's been used so far, what people have asked for reimbursement so far. So just so you guys have it, a couple of meetings ago, we talked about me giving you an update on a concise list of who has asked for what and what was approved. So you have that now. And then I'll make sure all of the commissioners get it after today.
Thank you.
And that's all I have.
Any comments?
Oh, great, good, thank you.
Well, since we have a short meeting, I'll make it a longer meeting. I apologize to the audience and the public at home for not having a quorum tonight. Commissioner Nick found a sentence in Arkansas law that said at the end of commissioner's term there's a vacancy. What he doesn't understand is that the commissioner can sit in that seat until it is filled. Just declaring a vacancy doesn't mean the commissioner has to get up and leave that seat. He would not join in this meeting tonight because he said I had no right to sit here and chair this meeting, and I apologize to the community for his misunderstanding. I've had 5 terms on the city council and 5 terms on the CAPC. I've been involved in politics in this community longer than anybody. I do know the rules of the road, and it's always been that until a commissioner is replaced, you're allowed to sit in that seat. Otherwise, what's going to happen, and what I'm going to announce tonight, is this is my last meeting. And for Scott Lofton of the Citizen, who surely thinks that there's something afoot going on here, I had to wait until I was sure that the restaurant had sold, which it has. So I will be leaving shortly, so this seat will be vacant. This is my last meeting, so that will make Nick and a couple other people in town very happy about that. What was it, 20 years on, well, let's see, 15 years on the CAPC. I've watched the revenues go from $900,000 to well over $1.5 million. One of the goals of the CAPC was midweek business, and that's something that we've tried for the 20 years that I've been here to achieve, and I don't know that it's something that we will ever be able to achieve, because about the only thing you can really hope for is small conventions. Yes, we do now have the basement, but we've also got the competition that the corridor has for bringing in these small conventions. So I don't know that we'll ever succeed at midweek business, but what I do know is that we are continually spending money to advertise the community, to bring people here. Most of them undoubtedly come here on the weekends, and we do not have the accommodations, and I don't mean lodging. We don't have the parking for them. Local people will not come here and shop. People that have been here a number of times just get tired of dealing with the parking. So what I've seen for the last 20 years is the solution to the problem is that the CAPC steps up and funds a bond issue for the parking facility for this auditorium. There's a beautiful spot right across from the New Delhi, which is less than about a half a block from here. If we were to take between $250,000 and $300,000 a year to put against a 20-year bond issue, we could build a facility between $5 and $6 million. We could possibly have 200 more parking spots downtown, which is half of what Southwest Missouri State University, in their comprehensive on-the-street survey of Eureka Springs, they came to the conclusion that we needed about 450 parking spots downtown. So if we can only fit so many people downtown on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're losing money as business owners. We have staff on hand. But if we can redirect a portion of the CAPC revenues to build a parking facility, then we can increase the overall revenues of every shopkeeper in this community, increasing the CAPC revenues. And if you pay attention, you see that the general revenues of the city climb at the same rate that the CAPC revenues climb. So if the city of Eureka Springs was an auto dealership, we're the marketing arm of the auto dealership. And as we are successful in our marketing, then the city profits from that, and their revenues can go to fixing Black Bass Dam. Council does not have the ability to direct the CAPC to spend their funds. The Arkansas legislature was wise enough to insulate us from City Hall, because knowing how things result, they would have dipped into our revenue stream to pay for some of their general revenue improvements. That should be a separate thing, that either the parks raises their taxes or the city floats a bond issue. But the CAPC has a directive from the state, and that is to enhance revenue, tourism revenue, which increases the general revenue of the city. So I leave the community with the one thing I've seen for the last 20 years is, we don't have enough parking on the weekends, and we can continue to promote the city, but if we can't accommodate them on weekends, then the advertising is ineffective. And hats off to the commission. If you can get it midweek business in here, that's great. That's the golden calf that everybody's looking, the golden fleece that everybody's looking for, and nobody seems to be able to achieve at this moment. So it's with mixed emotions that I'm leaving Eureka Springs. I know I've had as many as 650 people vote for me. Unfortunately, well, maybe not unfortunately, 2 of the commissioners that sit on this commission have only had 4 people vote for them. I don't know how they can really feel that they understand the community at large when they've never run in a general election. I know how Eureka operates. When I first got into town, within a few months, somebody handed me a 3-page sheet of all the people that I was supposed to be against and all the people who were the good people. And I doubt if things have really changed in the community since then. We're a small town, and small towns seem to operate sometimes, unfortunately, in that way. But I wish the other commissioners would have just kind of see how the terrain around them was, but they seem to have jumped in with both feet, either surreptitiously taping commissioners and CAPC members, or getting in my face about not wanting to be part of this commission if I'm going to chair a meeting. By law, I'm pretty confident that I have the ability to do that. We didn't vote on anything tonight, so it's inconsequential if I was supposed to be here or not. Mostly I'm here to announce that this is my last meeting of the CAPC, and I've enjoyed serving the community, but I'm off to a new adventure in my life after 36 years in Eureka Springs. So adieu to everybody, and if there's any, I'll call, we can't even vote on adjournment, so see ya.
Thank you.